Alright, hello. It is Tuesday afternoon. I've just got myself a cup of coffee. First of the day. I know it's really late for coffee, but I had a very slow start to my morning. Anyway, I think today I'm going to go ahead and start on a new dress. I say as I have one in the works right now, but I can't move any further on that one over there because I need the lining and I haven't gone to the store yet. And I don't feel like it right now. So we're going to start something new, and we're going to do this simplicity reproduction pattern of this 1950s dress. We're going to do the brown one. And as much as I really want to recreate this dress in the brown, I don't have a brown fabric that I could dedicate to it yet without thoroughly testing this pattern first, because the brown fabric I do have I am quite attached to, so I'm not going to use it yet. So meanwhile, I do have this very pretty scalloped pattern in yellow, and I think I could do a wearable mock-up of this dress in this. So this is made up of 21 pieces, because I hope to make the jacket as well out of a white wool that I have. So I guess let's just dive in and get started. I am fairly certain I have enough fabric here. I think this was 2.5 yards of a fairly wide cotton, which I think is enough for either version of this dress. So if not, then I could fudge it and make it work. But I really want all of the scallops to be going in the same direction, so I'm going to have to keep that in mind as I cut them out. I don't anticipate that being a problem though, because if you look at the pattern pieces given, the dress is pretty much all cut in one, and it's shaped with darts. And then there's just some details with the belt and the little pockets, and of course the bow and the trim, which I will be doing the trim and the bow probably out of a coordinating white muslin. It's more of like an off-white bone color. I'll use that for the trim. So with all that in mind, and the fact that I have all of my notions that I need, except maybe the zipper, I'm going to go ahead and start laying this out to cut it out. I forgot to mention, I'm probably going to be using this white wool for the little overcoat jacket thing. So yeah, that as well, because I didn't have enough to do a 60s coat out of it, so I'm going to do this coat instead. It'll be the shorter version though, I'm afraid, because I don't have enough for the I don't have enough length for the longer coat. It's what it is. Okay, so we are going to start by seeing what pieces I need for the dress, because that's what we're going to cut out first. And I need the front, which is piece number 1. That's this one. It is quite long, this dress, isn't it? It might be too long for me. I might need to shorten it. That's a really long dress. Is this that long on the models? It comes down just below their knee. I'm gonna have to shorten this. This is really long. Alright, so it says that a size 8 is a 26-inch waist, so that's the size I'm going to want to cut out. The bust shows to be a 37. Wow. It has an ease of 5.5 inches. That's really big. Okay, we'll fuss around with it later. For now, this has a 1.5 inch hem allowed. I still think this is a super long pattern piece though for me. Where would I have to shorten this? I don't understand ease or how to deal with it. So yeah. I mean, the waist falls like pretty much at my waist, so if I shorten this dress, I'm going to have to probably shorten it here. And I think by about like that much. Yeah, that looks like it's a better lace for me. I don't like dresses that are really super long. I know that was the style in the 50s and I am deviating because I am. But I think it's fine. The hip is showing to be a 37-inch hip, which is perfectly fine for me. Mine's about 36, so it'll give me about an inch of room. The only thing I'm really concerned about is the bust, because I do not have a 37-inch bust. I need to shorten this one to be the same length as the front. And we're just gonna wing it, I think. So what I want to do is probably line up the bust line, I think. For the waistline? Yeah, we'll line up the waistline. Which is here. Okay. And we will fold this up same way we did the other one. Yes, okay. Very close. Close enough for me. And I'm just gonna pin those. Okay. Yes, it is very close. So I'm happy with that. Am I actually going to be following the cutting guides for once? Stay tuned. I guess first let's see how wide this fabric is, and then that'll determine if I'm following cutting guides. Okay, so when I have it folded like this, the scallops are all facing the same direction, which means I need to determine which way I want them to go. And for the sake of science, math, geometry, this fabric is 27 inches on the fold, so it is 54 inches wide. So, on a 54-inch wide fabric, it says I should be able to lay them both together. We'll see. Might be short a few inches there. Get this out of my way. Move. I need space. Okay. See. I don't think I can fit them both side by side. I don't. I'm not entirely sure how wide so that should be on the fold, and that should be on the fold. Why should they both be on the fold? Oh, I see. That's how they did it. Okay. Well, maybe not. Okay. Need to think. Think. Miss Kids is why we pay attention to cutting layouts. Okay, so on my 54-inch fabric, this fits just. And I say just with a little bit of grace because I'm not cutting out a size 14, I'm cutting out a size 8. So I have like actually a lot of room. Like I think it doesn't even go into the selvage. And even if it did, there's seam allowance included. And a heck of a ton of ease. So you know, it's all fine. So those are the two main pieces. The important thing of the scallops going the same direction has been accomplished. Although I have the scallops running the wrong way. I would prefer the scallops to go this direction. So let's just flip those panels real quick, shall we? Scallops pointing down I think would be a much more flattering dress than the scallops pointing upwards, don't you? So yeah, let's just flip these over. Okay, I have went ahead and marked all of the indicating lines and markings and dots for this dress, and now I'm going to go ahead and go in and pin the darts. I've already done the one front panel, and now I'm going to do the back, and I am just making sure that I'm going through the dots starting at the center dot and then following the lines and going through them on each side. This ensures that the darts are where they're supposed to be. And these are double-ended darts as well, so there is really no like starting point, and you know, you can't start at the broad end and work your way to the narrow point, which is unfortunate because these are more annoying to sew, but they do give a really pretty effect on a garment because it eliminates the waist seam on a dress, which I think is very flattering on my body type, without having to do a full-on princess seam, which is not as pretty over like the shoulder and the bust as I would like it to be. And this is kind of where it bridges that gap between giving you a very, very defined waist and also flattering the bust. So, just gonna go in and keep pinning, and when I finish pinning these together, I will sew them on. So. I don't think I've done an update. So let me go ahead and do that now. I have made up the little tabby pieces that go to the dress, those little things right there. That's these. And then I've also ironed on the interfacing to the neckline bindings and the arm side bindings. So I'm going to actually go in and stitch down the finished edge here so that I don't have to worry about it ever. And then I've also ironed in or sewn in my darts and ironed them, and now I'm about to sew up the shoulder seams. I have not sewn up the side seams yet. I'm not going to, not until I do these. So because that makes sewing together the these pieces a lot easier. And I need to figure out which one's which, because that's the shoulder, wait, hold on. I need to figure out which one's which. These two are the same, so these go to that, and then these need to be sewn together, I think, before I finish the edge there, because that'll make it easier to finish that edge neatly, if that makes sense. So, oops. So we're going to sew those two together there, and that would be the neckline facing. And yeah, that's going to get sewn in like, okay. Alrighty, so yes, those are done, and I'm going to sew these pieces together. Okay. Okay, so I'm in the process of finishing up this dress. I'm not going to do the super duper good finishings on this just because I don't want to, this is more of a mock-up. I want to make it again out of a wool. So I'm going to sew, I'm doing these side seams now, and I'm going to sew from the edge of the sleeve. This is a facing, and I unfolded it so that when it's sewn together and I fold it over, it'll be a nice clean finish. So I'll be sewing from here to here, and then I'm going to skip this because that's where the side zipper is going to go. And I'm going to sew here all the way down. Where I drew this line is actually where I'm going to cut off this extra fabric, because this dress has side vents on it, which I think is a neat detail, but not one that I particularly like. So I'm just going to get rid of them completely. I might throw in a slit up the back and just finish that by hand, but we'll see. If I need to, but for now I'm just going to go ahead and just get rid of that because I don't like it. And here is the finished product. It is very, very cute. I love the way it turned out. Being a cotton dress, however, it is prone to wrinkling. As you can see, it wrinkled quite a bit, but this is after a full day's wear, about 9 to 10 hours of wearing the dress, so being cotton, I'm hardly surprised. That being said, it does accessorize very, very nicely with my little white pillbox hat that I've made and my white driving gloves. So overall, it gives a very cute effect, and I'm very happy with this dress. So please stay tuned for the jacket that matches.